Have you ever been watching the NBA Finals or watching the Olympics and said, man, I really wish that was me? Well, what if I told you that there were some tips to make yourself a better athlete? With just a little patience and a little grinding, anyone can make their game better. Whether you're playing baseball, whether you're playing basketball, or whether you're running track and field, there's always ways to get better. And after watching this video, if you take these tips, hopefully your game will go to the next level. My name is Las Yanko. I am a D2 track and field athlete, and by no means am I a professional athlete yet, but I wanted to share with you guys the little tips and tricks that I've picked up along my journey. Like I said, I am a D2 track and field athlete. I am going to be a decathlete actually, so I know a little bit about being athletic because that's kind of what I do. Also in high school, I won the state indoor high jump championship, so I think I know what I'm talking about a little bit. So before this video starts, make sure you guys go like and subscribe this video. It will really help me out. I'm just now getting started on YouTube, and every like or share will be appreciated. I love each and every one of you. I wanted to start this video out by saying, please keep in mind that you're not magically going to become a D1 athlete after watching this video, or any video for that matter. However, if you do take some of these tips and apply it to your grind and your mentality, you will become a better athlete. Just keep in mind that this is not an overnight process. All right, getting into tip number one, make the commitment. Like I said, this is not an overnight process. So becoming committed to what you want to do is very, very crucial. You can't just hit and miss, do it once or twice a week and expect exponential growth. That's just not how it's going to work. So when you're watching this video or any other video about being a better athlete or how to get better at your sport, you have to make the commitment to do it every single day. You have to be practicing every single day. You almost have to devote yourself to the sport and make sure that you're doing it every day. This can be very, very difficult. In fact, I'm still not the best at it myself. But a little tip inside the tip is use your brain. Your mind is such a powerful tool. It's probably one of the strongest things in your body that you can use. If you literally tell yourself that you can do something, you can do it. Your mind is a very powerful tool, and you need to be applying that to your training. Every time you say, I don't want to do this, you're just making it harder on yourself. Tell yourself that you want to do it and that you can do it. It's going to be frustrating at first. It's going to be hard at first, and nothing is easy. Nothing easy in life is worth doing. And I want you guys to remember that. Put it on your wall or something. So going through tip number one of making the commitment, I want you guys to set a goal in your head, a realistic goal that's not too far out of reach. Now, every kid wants to go to the NBA. Every kid wants to go to the MLB or the Olympics. That's just how it is. That's how we grow up, and that's how we think. But let's start smaller. Let's dial it back a little bit and set a goal that we maybe can maintain or achieve in a month. Whether that's dropping a time, whether that's making your high school basketball team, whether that's increasing your shooting percentage, whatever it may be. Set a little goal, and then those little goals will eventually build up. So you can simply trick your mind into, instead of building up towards this long goal that sometimes might not be achievable, you can set little goals, and then your brain will be tricked to make sure that you are making progress and that you'll stay committed to your whatever you're doing. That's just a little trick that you can do, because your brain needs dopamine. So if you don't see results right away, you might get discouraged. So setting those little goals can help. Tip number two is to train. LeBron James didn't wake up and become the best basketball player of maybe all time. I guarantee you he lived in a basketball court for all of his life. So that's why you cannot take these days off. That it will kill you. It will just absolutely shoot yourself in the foot. You have to be training constantly. And now the misconception is that people think training is constantly being in the gym, constantly weightlifting, and that's not exactly true. Training can be in all types of forms and different ways to make yourself better. And one thing that I always learned and always did was film. Record yourself. Do whatever you're doing and record yourself and analyze it and see how you can tweak and make it better. Film your practices, film your competitions, and see what you're doing wrong and why things happened in the game that it did. And then make a mental note next time that you go out to practice, we need to work on this. And then also, I never had a high jump coach, and I won the state championship. Research how to get better. Watch the pros, watch videos, do research. Anything to make yourself better is going to make you better. Simply learning the game is half the battle. So watch the professional athletes in your sports and break down what they're doing and why they did that in that certain scenario. Trust me, it can go a long way. Just break down the mechanics of what they're doing and maybe take a little bit from here and a little bit from here and apply it to you. That's how I learned how to high jump. If you do this, you will get better, I promise. Going into tip number 3 is nutrition. Our body is an engine, and it needs fuel. So I'm sorry, your days of eating bonbons and Doritos, like I said, are over. If you want to get better, your body has to be in the best shape that it can possibly be. I'm still working on this. This is not an overnight process. I'm trying to put on more weight, put on more muscle myself. I'm eating 3,500 calories. If you guys want to see a video about that and what I eat and what I lift, I can make a video about that. Just let me know down in the comments below. But you need to be supporting your body if you want to do this. Now, depending on your sport, your needs will change for your fuel that you'll need to be consuming. For track and field, you might not need to be the biggest person. You might not need to be 6'4", 250 pounds. But for football, you might need to be a little bit bigger. So do your research, like I said in tip number 2, and figure out what your body needs to be in order to compete at a higher level. If you are a running back, you obviously need to be fast and you need to be strong. If you're playing basketball, you don't necessarily need to be 300 pounds of pure muscle. You just need to be able to condition your body to run up and down the court constantly. And that's the difference between the two. You need to research what your body needs in order to give it what it needs. I'm not gonna get into super hard diets here, but if you wanna gain weight, you need to eat more. If you wanna lose weight, you need to eat less and work out more. That's just how it is. Nutrition kind of goes hand in hand with your training. If you are training super hard, but you're not eating enough, you're not gonna put on that muscle, and they kind of go together. And especially if you're coming off a harsh change, if you are slightly overweight and you're used to eating Doritos and instant ramen every single day of your life, it's going to be tough to switch. But like I said, you have to make the commitment and it'll pay off, I promise. So tip number 4 is plan for the future. I kind of mentioned this in tip number 1, but you need to be setting goals. This is not a fast process and everyone will start in different spots in different categories, but that shouldn't change how hard you work. Everyone should be working as hard as they physically can. But if you're 400 pounds overweight, you're not going to be LeBron in 2 years. That's just not how it's going to work. But if you're kind of skinny and you have the God-given gifts, maybe. But I'm saying you need to understand where your body is and how it's going to react to what you're going to be able to do. Like I said before, not everyone can be LeBron. No matter how hard you work or how hard you eat or how hard you do anything, there is a little bit of natural talent in everything. But I will say you only get out of your work as what you put in. So keep that in mind. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're lazy and you only train 1 time a week, you're only going to get faster or get stronger that quickly. But if you train 7 days a week, you're going to get faster way quicker. And tip number 5 might be the most important one, is be happy. If you're not happy through your training, then it's going to be extremely difficult. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then it's not for you. I'm sorry. If you see this more as a job than your love for the sport, then it's not for you once again. That's just how it is. You need to be enjoying what you're doing, understanding why you should be enjoying what you're doing, and you need to like the training that goes along with this. Because if you don't, it's just going to be 10 times harder than it already is, and it's already super hard. So to counteract this, to keep yourself healthy, you don't need to be in the gym for 8 hours a day. You don't need to be on the football field for 8 hours a day. Get up, break your habits of sleeping until noon. I'm guilty of this. Get up and train and get it out of the way of your day. It only takes 2 to 4 hours to train every day, and that's the max you should be doing. So spend the time that you are awake for the rest of the day doing things that you enjoy and doing things that you like to keep yourself motivated. I never said you have to stop playing video games. I never said you have to stop seeing your family or your girlfriend or doing things that you enjoy. That stuff is almost just as important as training itself. Because if you aren't good mentally, then you're not going to be good physically. They're both together. So I'm going to end this video by saying, if you take these tips and you apply them to whatever you're doing, I promise you that you will get better and I promise you that you can do this. Remember, tell yourself that you can do anything and you will be able to accomplish it to some degree. I'm the last Yanko. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me. If you guys enjoy my content, go stick around for another video. I have plenty of other videos on this channel about anime and stuff, but if you guys want to see more of this kind of content, just let me know down in the comments below. I really enjoyed making this video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace. Go get that grind on.